Welcome back to Clean Calm Tales. This is a longer story you can listen to while you clean. You don't have to do everything today. Pick one small area, one surface, one corner, one room. Grab a trash bag or a small basket and start. And if you like this kind of calm, shame-free cleaning energy, subscribe. It helps more people find this kind of safe space. One quick question before we start. What are you cleaning right now? Is it your kitchen, your bedroom, your living room, or just one little corner? If you want to, leave a comment that says, I'm cleaning shawarawaibe. Just one word. Kitchen, bedroom, desk, anything? All right, let's begin. In the lantern forest, winter doesn't arrive like an event. It arrives like a thought you try to ignore. A small shift, a slightly colder morning, a deeper silence at night. And the first sign is never snow. It's the lanterns. Tiny lights that appear under roots, inside hollow logs, and between branches. Steady, warm, unhurried. Like the forest is placing candles in the dark. Most years, lanterns wake late, when it's already cold, when everyone can feel the turn. But this year, the lanterns woke early. And that meant the forest wasn't just preparing. It was warning. Because early lanterns don't mean winter is coming. Everyone knows winter is coming. Early lanterns mean something in winter will try to pull you apart. Not with teeth, with quiet. A kind of quiet that makes you think you should handle everything alone. A quiet that whispers, you're behind, you're failing. You're not enough. Don't let anyone see. The animals had a name for it. They called it the winter quiet. And when the winter quiet wakes, it doesn't attack the body first. It goes for the mind. Pippin the squirrel noticed the early lanterns first because he noticed most things first. Pippin wasn't special in the ways stories usually choose. He wasn't brave like a hero or powerful like a king. He didn't have a dramatic past. He was simply the kind of person who learned one useful habit and never let it go. Pippin started small. He lived in a maple tree at the edge of a meadow. His home was tidy in a realistic way. Not perfect, not fancy, just calm, a bed of moss, a shelf made from bent twigs, a jar carved from an acorn cap, and beside the doorway, a smooth stone that fit his paw. Every morning, Pippin placed one paw on that stone and said quietly, "Start small." Not as a mantra to impress anyone, as a reminder, because he had learned the hard way that panic pretends to be productivity. Once, in his first winter alone, he'd tried to do everything at once. He'd gathered nuts until his arms shook. He'd built walls around his home until his chest felt tight. He'd stayed awake at night thinking about what could go wrong. And he did make it through that winter. But the cost was heavy. He made it through hungry anyway, and tired, and lonely. That's when he realized something simple. Doing everything at once doesn't create safety. It just creates exhaustion. So he changed the way he moved through life. One basket, then rest. One small job, then breathe. That's how he did summer. That's how he did autumn. That's how he did everything. On a warm summer morning, Pippin was gathering acorns while the meadow still smelled like honey. Two rabbits were chasing each other near the wildflowers. One was Clover, younger, fast, cheerful, always bouncing into the next moment. The other was Hazel, older, quiet, and the kind of person who listened to everything twice. Clover spotted Pippin and stopped. "Pippin," Clover said, breathless and laughing. "Why are you working? It's summer." Pippin smiled and adjusted the basket on his back. "I'm not working," he said. "I'm collecting." Clover squinted, like collecting sounded suspiciously like responsibility. "Collecting what?" Clover asked. Pippin held up an acorn. "For later," he said. Clover made a dramatic noise. Later is a story we tell ourselves, Clover said. Come to the creek. It's sparkling. Hazel stepped closer, calmer. Does it ever get heavy? Hazel asked, thinking ahead all the time? Pippin shook his head. I don't think ahead all the time, he said. I think ahead for one basket, then I'm free. Hazel paused. That sentence went somewhere deep. One basket, she repeated. Clover rolled his eyes. You two sound like you're 80, he said. I'm going to live. He hopped away again. Hazel smiled faintly, but it wasn't jealousy exactly. It was longing for ease. I should go with him, Hazel said. Pippin nodded. Go, he said, and later, bring one small thing to store. One berry, one nut, one anything. Hazel hesitated, then she nodded once, like she could do that. One small thing, she said, and she followed Clover into the sunlight. Pippin watched them go. Then he turned back to his basket. One acorn, then another. Deep among the pines lived Bramble the bear. Bramble wasn't a villain. He wasn't selfish in the sharp way. He was simply comfortable. And comfort can make you lazy without you noticing. Bramble loved warmth, warm rocks, warm berries, warm naps that lasted too long. He believed in the forest the way people believe in luck when luck has always held them. A mouse named Juniper approached him one afternoon. Juniper was small, quick, and practical. She wasn't cold, but she was direct. The kind of person who sees a problem and doesn't decorate it. Bramble, Juniper said, are you storing anything? Bramble blinked slowly. Storing? He repeated. Juniper nodded. Food, dry leaves, anything. Bramble chuckled softly. Winter comes every year, he said, and every year we survive. Juniper looked at him for a long moment. Survive isn't the same as safe, she said. Bramble glanced at the sky. So blue, it looked unreal. I'll be fine, Bramble said. Come eat. Juniper did eat, not because she agreed, because she didn't believe in refusing warmth. Then she picked 2 berries and placed them carefully in her little pouch. Bramble laughed. 2 berries won't change winter. Juniper didn't argue. 2 berries changes me, she said. It makes me someone who starts. And for one moment, Bramble almost felt a small unease, a colder breath in the wind. He ignored it. Comfort is convincing like that. That night, Hazel sat outside her burrow while Clover slept. Clover's paws twitched in dreams. He looked like someone who had never met shame in his life. Hazel loved him for that, and she was also afraid for him. Because Hazel remembered last winter. She remembered Clover asking, quietly, if they could eat something else besides dried grass. She remembered him trying to act brave. She remembered her own chest tightening every time he fell asleep hungry. Hazel didn't talk about it much, but it lived in her body. So when she heard Pippin's one basket, it didn't feel like advice. It felt like permission. She found a small basket and walked to the berries. She gathered slowly, not with anger at herself, not to prove anything. She stopped when the basket was full. Stopping felt uncomfortable, because anxiety tells you that stopping is dangerous. But Hazel sat with the discomfort and waited, and something softened. Not her life, not the world, her breath. She carried the basket inside, placed it in a cool corner, and sat near Clover. For the first time in a while, Hazel felt proud without feeling guilty for it. A quiet pride she had started. Autumn arrived like a letter slipped under a door. The light grew softer. The mornings smelled sharper. The meadow didn't hum as loud. Pippin noticed the first leaf yellow at the edges and smiled, not because he loved cold, but because he loved clarity. He climbed down one morning, basket ready, and headed toward his usual routes. That's when he saw it, a faint glow under a thick root. He froze. It wasn't bright like a firefly. It was steady, warm, lantern light, too early. Pippin leaned closer and felt a chill that had nothing to do with the air. He backed away slowly, basket still on his back, heart tapping. Lanterns don't wake this early, not unless the forest expects something worse than cold. Pippin didn't run in panic. He ran in purpose. He found Hazel outside her burrow. Clover was nearby, trying to carry too many acorns at once and failing. Hazel looked up and read Pippin's face immediately. What is it?" she asked. "I saw a lantern," Pippin said. Clover dropped an acorn. "A lantern?" Clover asked, voice small. Hazel's ears lifted. "But it's early," Hazel said. Pippin nodded. "That's why it matters," he said. Hazel looked at Clover, then back at Pippin. "What do we do?" Hazel asked. Pippin exhaled. "We don't scare people," he said. "We don't shame people. We prepare softly, and we prepare together." Clover swallowed. "Together like everyone?" he asked. Pippin nodded. Hazel lifted her chin. "And we keep it simple," Hazel said. "One basket." She handed Clover a basket. "One basket today," she said. Clover stared at it like it was a new version of himself. Then he nodded. "One basket," he repeated. And he began. Fox Rowan counted stars. He lived in the darker part of the forest where the trees grew close. He wasn't evil. He wasn't mean. He was alone by habit, because being alone felt safer than being disappointed. He watched the forest quietly from the edges. He watched Pippin, Hazel, Clover, Juniper, Bramble. One night, Fox Rowan noticed the sky shift. The stars looked sharper. The air tasted like metal. Then he saw it, a faint green ribbon in the night sky. Northern lights, early. Fox Rowan's fur rose. He walked to the oldest oak where Lumen the moth lived. Lumen was ancient. His wings were pale, dusted with silver. When he moved, it looked like someone shook glitter into the air. Fox Rowan bowed his head. "The lights are early," Fox Rowan said. Lumen's antennae twitched. "Yes," Lumen whispered. Fox Rowan's voice lowered. "Does that mean the lanterns?" he asked. Lumen fluttered once. "They will wake," he said. "And if they wake early, winter will be harder." Fox Rowan swallowed. Harder didn't scare him. He could survive hard. But harder usually meant alone. He asked anyway. "Harder than last year?" Lumen's eyes were gentle. "Harder doesn't mean hopeless," he said. "It means together." Fox Rowan looked away. Together felt like risk, but the word stayed. The first official lantern bloomed the next morning in a hollow log by the creek. Juniper found it first. She stopped mid-step and stared. The light was steady, warm, and wrong for the season. Juniper ran to Pippin. "Pippin," she said, "the lantern is awake." Pippin's tail went still. Hazel and Clover arrived, breathless. Hazel spoke first. "We tell the forest," she said, "but gently." Juniper nodded. "And honestly," she added, "because pretending is how Bramble will get hurt." They found Bramble near the berry bushes, relaxed and comfortable. Pippin said, "The lantern woke." Bramble blinked slowly. "So?" he said. Hazel's voice stayed warm, not sharp. "It's early," she said. "That means winter may be harder." Bramble shrugged. "Winter is winter," he said. Juniper didn't push. She just said the truth. "Winter can be normal," she said. "Or winter can be cruel. Lanterns wake for a reason." Bramble's smile softened. He wanted to agree, but he didn't want to change. "Fine," he said. "I'll gather something later." Clover tried to lighten the moment. "We can do it together," he said. "One basket." Bramble chuckled. "One basket won't feed a bear." Pippin just nodded. "It's a start," he said. Bramble sighed. "All right," he said. "One basket." It wasn't perfect, but it was movement. That night, they gathered at the lantern log. Pippin sat on a stone. Hazel and Clover sat close. Juniper perched nearby. Bramble stood slightly apart. Fox Rowan watched from the shadows. Lumen hovered above the lantern. "The lanterns wake when the forest expects struggle," Lumen said softly. "But they also wake when the forest expects kindness." Clover asked, "What do they do?" "They remind you," Lumen said, "that no one survives alone." Bramble cleared his throat. "So we're supposed to share," he said. Juniper nodded. "And plan," she said, "so sharing doesn't feel like drowning." Hazel added, "No shame, no blaming, just learning." The lantern pulsed once, then it flickered. Just once. The air felt colder, like someone opened a door in your mind. Pippin's tail went still again. Lanterns weren't supposed to flicker. Lumen's wings trembled. "That," he whispered, "is new." Juniper narrowed her eyes. "What does it mean?" she asked. Lumen's voice dropped. "It means the lantern isn't only awake," he said. "It is warning." A hush fell over the circle. Fox Rowan watched the flicker and felt a thought rise, uncomfortable and sharp. Someone isn't just preparing for winter. Something is coming that likes isolation. The next days, the lanterns appeared in more places, under roots, inside hollows, along path edges. But Fox Rowan noticed something else. They weren't random. They were forming a pattern, a loose ring, widening. Like the forest was drawing a circle around something it wanted to protect. Fox Rowan found Lumen late one night. "The lanterns are making a ring," Fox Rowan said. Lumen's antennae twitched. "Yes," he whispered. "A ring around what?" Fox Rowan asked. Lumen looked toward the oldest part of the woods. "A place," he said, "where the forest keeps its oldest memories." Fox Rowan frowned. "And what are we protecting it from?" he asked. Lumen's voice became careful. "From a winter that eats warmth," he said. "Not food warmth. Heart warmth." Fox Rowan's fur lifted. That sentence didn't feel like a story. It felt like something real people carry. Winter arrived gently at first. Feather snow, a dusting, a hush. Then, 2 weeks later, the real snow came. Wind, weight, white that swallowed paths. The forest woke, buried. Hazel counted supplies. Enough for a while. Not forever. Clover watched her. "We're okay," Hazel said softly. Clover nodded, then asked, "What about others?" Hazel's heart tightened. She thought of the young mice, the birds, Bramble, who started late. In the maple tree, Pippin listened to the wind press against the bark and told himself calmly, "Start small." On the third day of deep snow, Juniper arrived at Pippin's door, shaking. "Bramble is in trouble," she said. Pippin's stomach dropped. "He didn't store enough?" Pippin asked. Juniper nodded. "He tried," she said. "But he started late, and now he's too ashamed to ask." Pippin didn't laugh. He didn't scold. He nodded once. "Get Hazel," he said. "Get Clover. And get Fox Rowan." Juniper blinked. "Fox Rowan?" she repeated. Pippin's voice stayed gentle. "He sees patterns," he said. "And right now we need every kind of help." They met at the lantern log. Pippin brought nuts. Hazel brought berries. Clover brought herbs. Juniper brought seeds. Fox Rowan arrived last, quiet as breath. Bramble trudged into the circle, head low. "I didn't think," Bramble started. Hazel stepped forward. Firm, kind. "We're not here to shame you," she said. "We're here to keep you alive." Bramble's shoulders sagged. "I thought I always get lucky," he admitted. Pippin nodded. And sometimes you do, he said. But winter is not a place to gamble. Bramble's eyes shone. I'm sorry, he whispered. Juniper climbed onto his paw. Sorry is a start, she said. Now we make a plan. Fox Rowan said quietly. I can guide. He pointed to the darker woods. I know where snow piles less, he said. I know where roots make pockets. Hazel looked at him with real gratitude. Thank you, she said. Fox Rowan looked away fast. He wasn't used to being seen kindly. They divided supplies carefully, not emptying anyone, not rescuing like a performance. Just enough. For a few days, it worked. Bramble ate. Hazel relaxed a little. Clover smiled again. Pippin slept deeper. And then the lanterns began to dim. Not all at once. One here, one there. Juniper noticed first. She ran to Lumen. The lanterns are fading, she said. Lumen's wings stiffened. They shouldn't, he whispered. Fox Rowan stepped forward. They're not fading, he said. They're moving. Something is pulling the light. Lumen's antennae trembled. A hunger that isn't for food, he whispered. The wind moved through the trees like a quiet laugh. Hazel felt her chest tighten, because she knew that hunger. Not for food, for reassurance, for control, for someone to say, you're safe, mid-story check-in. If you're cleaning right now, pause for 1 second and notice your shoulders. Are they tight? If they are, soften them a little. And tell me this in the comments if you want. What does your winter feel like lately? Busy? Heavy? Lonely? Loud in your head? Just one word is enough. Now, back to the forest. The next storm wasn't snow, it was ice. Rain fell at night and froze as it touched branches. The forest turned to glass, beautiful, dangerous. Hazel sat in the burrow, listening to the wind and feeling that familiar panic try to climb up her throat. Clover sat close. It'll pass, he whispered. Hazel wanted to believe him. But fear doesn't leave because you argue with it. Fear leaves when you do the next right thing. In the maple tree, Pippin wrapped moss tighter around his bed and whispered, Start small. In the fox den, Fox Rowan heard something through the storm. A cry, weak, like someone asking a question they're afraid to ask. Fox Rowan stepped outside. Ice cracked under his paws. Wind slapped his face. He followed the sound. Under a bent branch near the creek, he found a baby rabbit named Fern, soaked and shivering. Fern saw him and tried to scramble away, but she slipped on the ice. Fox Rowan froze. Old stories lived in the forest. Fox and rabbit stories. He could walk away, pretend he never heard it. But something had changed in him this season. He remembered Bramble's shame, Hazel's steady kindness, Pippin's calm, Juniper's truth, together. Fox Rowan lowered himself slowly. I'm not here to hurt you, he said. Fern's teeth chattered. I lost my way, she whispered. I can't find home. Fox Rowan looked around. The storm erased landmarks. The forest looked like a blank page. I can find it, he said. But you have to trust me. Fern stared at him, then closed her eyes. I don't have another choice, she whispered. Fox Rowan wrapped his scarf around her carefully. Hold on, he said. And don't look at my teeth. They look worse than they are. Fern gave a tiny, scared laugh and clung to him. Fox Rowan began to walk. And as he walked, lanterns began to glow under the ice. Not at the log. Along the path, like the forest was guiding him. Fox Rowan followed the lights without fully understanding why. And then he realized something that made his stomach tighten. The lanterns weren't guiding him home. They were guiding him toward the oldest part of the woods, toward the place the lantern ring was protecting, the hollow of roots. Fox Rowan felt cold behind his ribs. because if the lanterns were leading him there, it meant the danger was already awake. Fox Rowan delivered Fern to Hazel's burrow first. Hazel nearly stopped breathing when she saw Fox and Rabbit together in a storm. Then she saw Fern shaking and Fox Rowan's careful posture. Hazel scooped Fern into her arms. Clover stared at Fox Rowan. "You saved her?" he whispered. Fox Rowan shrugged, uncomfortable. "She was loud," he muttered, then corrected himself. "I mean, quiet." Juniper appeared, eyes wide. "That was brave?" she said. Fox Rowan's ears flattened. "Don't make it big," he murmured. Hazel looked at him. "Thank you," she said simply. Fox Rowan swallowed. "I did it," he said quietly, "because someone would do it for me now." Hazel nodded. "Warm up," she said. Fox Rowan stepped inside. The burrow smelled like herbs and safety. Small, real. Fern fell asleep wrapped in blankets. Clover handed Fox Rowan warm leaf tea. Fox Rowan held the mug like he didn't trust warmth to stay. Outside, the storm raged. Inside, there was light. Not perfect, not forever, but enough. In the morning, Juniper came in fast. "Hedgehog Hollow," she said. The lantern there went out. Hazel's stomach dropped. "That's where the old hedgehog is," she said. Pippin arrived, fur dusted with ice. "And the lantern under my root is dim," he said. Fox Rowan's eyes narrowed. "They're draining," he said. "Something is feedin'." Lumen fluttered in, wings trembling. "It's awake," he whispered. Hazel's voice went quiet. "What is?" she asked. Lumen's eyes were dark. "The winter quiet," he said. "It doesn't eat food first. It eats connection." Clover shivered. "How?" he whispered. Lumen's answer was simple and terrifying. "It makes you separate," he said. "It makes you ashamed. It tells you to hide." Hazel felt that sentence land like a hand on her throat because she knew that voice. Fox Rowan asked, "Where does it live?" Lumen looked toward the oldest woods. "The hollow of roots," he whispered. Juniper stood still. "So the lanterns aren't just warning about snow?" she said. Pippin's voice stayed calm. "What do we do?" he asked. Lumen said, "We feed the lanterns with what the quiet can't swallow." Clover asked, "What can't it swallow?" Lumen looked around the burrow. "Honesty," he said. "Kindness. Togetherness. And small beginnings?" Hazel whispered, "One basket." Pippin nodded. "One basket." Fox Rowan added, "One truth." They all looked at him. Fox Rowan's voice was quiet but steady. "The quiet wins when we pretend," he said. "So we stop pretending." Bramble stepped inside the doorway, snow clinging to his fur. His eyes looked smaller than usual. "I'm scared," Bramble said. Nobody laughed. Hazel nodded. "Me too," she said. Clover swallowed. "Me too," he admitted. Juniper said, "Good, now we can move." They gathered the forest at the lantern log that night. More animals came than before. Not because they were brave, because they were tired of being alone with fear. Pippin spoke first. "Lanterns are going out," he said, "and we believe something is draining them." A hush fell. Hazel stepped forward. "This isn't a meeting to shame anyone," she said. "Not for not preparing, not for being scared, not for needing help." Juniper said, "We build a shared shelf by the lantern. No names, no judgment. If you have extra, leave it. If you need it, take it." Bramble lifted his paw. "I can clear paths," he said. "I can move heavy branches." Clover hopped forward. "I can make it feel lighter," he said. "I can teach one basket." Fox Rowan said from the edge, "I can guide. I know the old woods." Lumen whispered, "And I can show you the hollow." The lantern flickered once, then steadied. Like it approved, they left before dawn. a quiet line of animals moving carefully through ice and snow. Pippin carried a small bundle of nuts. Hazel carried herbs. Juniper carried seeds. Clover carried a bag of berries and tried not to look nervous. Bramble carried heavy supplies. Fox Rowan walked ahead, reading the land. Lumen fluttered above them like a pale moon. As they entered the oldest woods, everything felt muted. The snow looked duller. The trees felt farther apart, even though they weren't. The air felt thick, like sound didn't want to travel. Clover leaned toward Hazel. "Why does it feel like this?" he whispered. Hazel whispered back. "Because fear makes everything feel farther?" Fox Rowan stopped. "There," he said. Ahead was the hollow of roots, where ancient roots rose like frozen waves, the place the lanterns had formed a ring around. Now the lanterns around it were dim. Inside the hollow, there was no sound at all. No wind, no birds, no creaks, just quiet. Lumen's wings trembled. "This is where it sleeps," he whispered. Bramble's breath fogged. "How do we fight quiet?" he asked. Hazel answered softly. "We don't fight," she said. "We warm." Pippin stepped onto a root and whispered, "Start small." Then he placed one nut on the snow at the edge of the hollow. Juniper placed 2 seeds. Hazel placed herbs. Clover placed a berry and swallowed hard. Bramble placed a full sack gently. Fox Rowan didn't place food. He placed his scarf, a piece of warmth. Lumen shook silver dust over the offerings. The lanterns flickered. The quiet cracked, just a hairline crack. And then something moved inside the hollow. Not a creature shape, a feeling, like shame sliding in the dark. Hazel's chest tightened, because the winter quiet wasn't a monster. It was a voice. It felt like every time you looked at a mess and thought, "I'm failing." Every time you needed help and thought, "I don't deserve it." Every time you felt behind and thought, "Everyone else has it together." Clover stumbled back. "I can't," he whispered. Hazel grabbed his paw. "Stay with me," she said. Bramble's shoulders shook. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Pippin said calmly, "No shame, not here." Juniper said, "One truth." Hazel's throat tightened. Then she said it. "I feel like I'm never enough," Hazel whispered. The quiet twitched, like the sentence burned it. Clover choked. "I pretend I don't care because I'm scared to fail," he said. The quiet recoiled. Bramble swallowed. "I thought planning meant I was weak," he admitted. Fox Rowan stepped forward. "I thought being alone was safer," he said, but it was just quiet. The lanterns brightened a little, not dramatic, but real. More truths came. A mouse admitted she was ashamed to take from the shared shelf. A bird admitted he felt stupid for not preparing. A deer admitted she was tired of being strong alone. Each truth was small, but each truth was warmth. And warmth is what the winter quiet cannot eat. The shadow thinned like fog under sunrise. Then the quiet tried one last trick. It pressed a thought into Hazel's mind, cold and sharp. If you were better, you wouldn't need help. Hazel's eyes filled. Pippin stepped beside her. "You are safe," he said, "and you are enough." Juniper added, "Needing help doesn't mean you failed. It means you're alive." Clover whispered, "And you're my home." Hazel's breath broke open. Warmth returned. The quiet dissolved another layer. The lanterns around the hollow glowed brighter, not fierce, comforting, like a hearth. And the hollow of roots made a sound, a small sound, like the forest breathing again. Winter didn't end instantly. Spring didn't rush in like a reward. But the lanterns stopped dimming. The shared shelf stayed enough. Bramble cleared paths. Clover taught one basket routines like a game. Hazel slept deeper. Fox Rowan stayed closer. Juniper kept things quietly steady. The winter quiet didn't vanish forever. because fear is part of life. But it lost its power because the forest learned the answer. When quiet tries to separate you, answer with small warmth. One basket, one truth, one neighbor. When the first icicle melted and dropped onto stone, plink, Pippin noticed first. He ran to the lantern log. The lantern still glowed, softer now, like it was getting ready to rest. Hazel arrived with Clover. Juniper followed. Bramble came, eyes brighter. Fox Rowan came too, not hiding. Clover whispered, "We made it." Hazel exhaled. "We did," she said. Bramble rubbed his paws together. "Next summer," he said. "I'm storing. Not because I'm scared, because I respect myself." Juniper nodded. "That's the difference," she said. "Respect." Fox Rowan looked at the group. "I didn't think I belonged anywhere," he said. "But I do now." Hazel looked at him. "You always did," she said. "You just had to let us see you." Pippin touched the lantern log. "One basket," he said softly. "Then freedom." Clover smiled. "One basket," he repeated. "And then we live." The lantern flickered once, gentle, then steadied. If you've been cleaning while you listened, I want to say this clearly. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to fix your whole life in one day. You don't need to be perfect to deserve peace. You only need one small start, one bag, one basket, one surface. And if winter feels like it's in your mind lately, remember the lanterns. Not magic that fixes everything. Magic that reminds you you're not alone. If this story helped you feel even a little calmer, subscribe to Clean Calm Tales and leave a comment with either lantern or one basket, whichever line you needed more today. You did enough today. You started. And starting is powerful. The end.